that you can't get back. And if you're on time, obviously you're gonna have a very, very nice bank account. I learned that from some multimillionaires, right? The moment that you struggle with time, the moment your bank account struggle as well. All right. So just make sure y'all put that in y'all hat. Now, that being said, I wanted to talk to you guys. If you guys don't know me, obviously, some of you guys do. If you got some noise in the background, just make sure you mute yourself, because we want to make sure we have everybody undivided attention. All right, we want to talk about a growth mindset because I think a lot of people, when it comes down to growing, they feel like all they have to do is just read information, look at things, videos or shows that just talk about growing, which actually that's cool. That's part of it, but it's not the end result, right? The end result, in order to put that together, is you got to be willing to have a growth mindset that's going to allow you to actually take in the information and apply it to as well. That's the only way you're going to actually hit a lot of the goals, not only for yourself, but in life as well. Does that make sense? So I have some qualities that I want to go over with you guys that's going to help you guys realize how to have a growth mindset. And we're going to go down the line. And with that being said, we're going to expand on it and see what you guys think, what it means based off what I call out. All right. So we're going to be very, very interactive. That way you guys can just continue to learn what you need to learn. Now, that being said, the first thing you have to have is the growth mindset. You got to want to grow, right? That's number one. That is number one. And some of these things, I'm not even going to ask you guys what I mean on it, because I mean it's plain and simple. You have to have a growth mindset. You cannot have a mindset it's all about being content. I'm okay where I'm at, right? I can't have that mindset, because if you do, it's going to keep you in the same situation that you're in right now, right? Whatever situation that may be. It could be a good situation, or it can be, why not make your situation better, right? It can be an okay situation. Why not make your situation good, right? It can be a bad situation. Why not make it okay, right? You got to have a growth mindset, right? So that's number one. Number two, you got to have resilience. You got to have resilience. Resilience matter, right? Who can tell me why you have to be resilient? A part of your quality. Why is it that you have to be? Uh, I love it, Andrew. That is absolutely correct. Why not? You got to understand. Like, I think a lot of people go through life just feeling like everything's supposed to be peaches and cream. They don't know how to act or react when things don't go their way. That's not reality. Like Andrew just said, you got to know when things are going good. You got to also deal with it when it's not so great. How are you going to respond? Do you just say, "Oh, okay, let me pack my bags and just leave"? It's like relationships, right? In a relationship, sometimes there's going to be some issues. Would you guys agree? You don't just say, "Oh, I'm done." You know what? This is the first time you ever did something I don't like, and I'm out of here. Right? That's not reality. Right? The reality of it is, all right, sometimes we're going to deal with challenges, but is this worth it? Of course it is. Otherwise, you wouldn't be with that person. And if you with somebody, by the way, if you with somebody that you just not worth it, why are you still there anyway? But that's a whole nother question. Go on now. I'm just leave y'all with that. All right, get out of there. Run for the hills. All right, it's not worth it. Don't let them zap your energy. So you got to be resilient, right? That's very, very important. Uh, the next thing, which is the third thing, intelligence can be developed. You have to understand that you can develop intelligence. It doesn't really matter. I hear this all the time. People talk about where they from. I'm from a very poor area, worst area. Poverty. It didn't change me. It didn't make me say, okay, this is where I'm from, so I got to be like that, right? It actually made me think very, very different. It said, well, I don't want to live like this for the rest of my life, so I got to do something better, right? So some people use it as excuses where they're from, but some people use it as inspiration and motivation to be better. Right? You get to decide which one you want to, what side of the line you want to be on. Right? And I always tell people, it's not for everybody to want to make a change. It's cool. Some people like being in poverty. They okay with what their situation is, but they like to complain about it. That doesn't work when you want to be successful and have a growth mindset. If you have the right mindset, you can change whatever situation that you're currently in, whatever situation that you're currently in, and don't think different. People do it all the time. So what's your excuse? Right? But in order for that to happen, you got to make sure you're that person, right? You got to have the intelligence to want to develop. That's what that's all that means. Right? I'm smart enough to know that I can be in a better situation. I'm smart enough to realize that. And that's how you have to think, right? Be smart enough to realize you can be in a better situation. Now, with that being said, obviously, the fourth thing, you have to change your perspective on failure. You have to change your perspective on failure. You have to. You have to change your perspective. Who can tell me what I mean when I say that? Changing your perspective on failure. That's like a negative word, a negative thing most people look at. All right. All right. I like that, Andrew. I like that. Hey, Andrew. Hey, and then you know how to use your I'm gonna get you to raise your hands like raise your hand like the rest of them. I like that though. You fire. I like that, Andrew. That's a great point. But Wendy, you had your hand up, and then Noah, you next.
Yeah, I was actually going to say the same thing, just viewing it as an opportunity to learn and grow rather than,
Absolutely.
yeah, rather than a failure.
Okay. Noah and then McKelly.
Yeah, rather than, seeing somebody slam a door on you as, oh, I failed, see it as a one step closer to a yes, and that the next door can be the best door.
Absolutely, absolutely. What can I do better?
Yep.
Why is it that they didn't want to hear what I had to say? Say the failure mindset is, oh, nobody likes me out here. Well, if you think like that, you're true. You're telling yourself the truth, right? Whatever you put in your mind, you're 100% right. If you think people don't like you, they don't. If you think you're the coolest person on the block, you are, right? It's all about what energy that you're bringing to everyday life, right? Are you the type of person that's worried about your situation all the time and then you're trying to talk to people? Well, guess what? They see it too. They're like, you really don't care about me getting better services. You care about your situation. So I'm gonna say no today. And now you start to weighing that and you take it to the next person and to the next person and to the next person. Right? Customers are like sharks in the water. They smell blood. Right? You have to make sure that you're not that person. But go ahead, Kelly, you had your hand up.
Just think of it like as a lesson versus like a loss. You can shift your mindset to that. And there's really no failure or no success without failure.
Absolutely. You guys was able to hear that? Cool, cool. So that's good, good. So the next one, right? It's number 5, embracing feedback. That's what a lot of people don't do. They don't embrace feedback. They want to argue against it. Why are you telling me this? Well, because you're not good right now. That's why I'm telling you. See, the person that's giving you feedback, right? Make sure that they're qualified to give you that feedback. And if they are qualified to give you that feedback, then you should listen, right? But the key is making sure that they're qualified to give you the feedback, right? I don't want to accept feedback from a person that's making $200 a week, and you giving me feedback on how to make 1,000 plus. That just don't make sense. Hey, well, listen, this is how you make 1,000 plus. You do this, that, and third. Then they look at me and say, "Well, you didn't do it last week, so why should I listen to you?" Right? So you have to understand that in order to take in feedback, it has to be from a person that's required or qualified to give it to you. If you tell me how to be a great leader, I want to make sure your leadership is on point too. Right? Hey, this is how you become a great leader. Okay, well, are you? Let me make sure you're checking all those boxes too. If you're telling me how to become one, let me make sure you check those same boxes. All right, Andrew, you have your hand up. Absolutely. 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 Right. Like that's the name of the game. That's the name of it. Can y'all grab a seat for today? Yeah. Yeah. So that's the name of the game. All right. So the name of the game is make sure the person is qualified to make sure that they're able to give you that advice. Right. It's like we always talk about people that people come to, like people make $50,000, $60,000 a year and they tell you how to make six figures. What? How can you do that? Right? You cannot do that. It's like going to college. When you go to college, they have people teaching entrepreneurship classes. Why they do that at? How are you teaching entrepreneurship classes when you're getting a salary at the community, at the college? You're not an entrepreneur, but you're teaching me how to become one. I don't really understand that. Right? You have to make sure that people are qualified to give you the correct information. Right? If somebody tell you that you're not going to make six figures, you got to look at them and say, well, I know because you're not making six figures. Right? But if somebody's making six figures, then listen to them. They'll tell you how to make six figures or seven figures. It depends on where you want to be at, right? In life. You have to make sure that you understand that. Now, number 6, right? You have to become a positive thinker. A lot of people struggle with their mindset, right? Which ultimately holds you back. It holds you back when you struggle with your mindset. Here's what I'm talking about when it comes down to being a positive thinker. How many times have you guys heard someone that say, well, man, I suck at this? They just say stuff that comes out of their mouth like, I suck at it. I'm not very good today, right? Or I don't think I can do this. You know what? Nobody wants it in the area that I'm working in, right? Everybody already have the service, so I have no opportunities to sign people up. This sound familiar? Have you guys heard this before? Right. No, you have your hand up.
I was kind of just agreeing, like raising my hand, but yes, like it's kind of like that children's book where it's the choo-choo train, where it's like I think I can, and then it's I know I can.
Right.
That train wasn't telling itself it can because it did it. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's a great point, right? So it's all about the power of our thoughts. If you tell yourself you can't make $1,500, you won't make $1,500. I was just showing Brittany, and me and Brittany was looking at the stats. There's reps that made over 16 grand last month alone, and then some people already over 5 grand this week. Right? A girl that Brittany mentored made $2,500 in one day on Monday. She's a rep. What do you guys think that they think differently? I mean, what do you guys think is happening right now? I just kind of told you guys already. If you guys listen to me, you probably already heard what I just said. Who can tell me? All right, Andrew and Sean next. They got a positive mindset. Absolutely. Sean, you next.
Yeah, exactly. They're instead of being like, oh, I can't do this, instead of saying, oh, I don't know how to do this, they're like, I'm gonna step my game up. I'm gonna be better at this. I'm gonna do better. I can do this.
Absolutely. All right, Noah, what about you?
Just like Mike says, they believed it.
Yeah, 100%, right? First of all, in order to do anything, you have to believe you can do it, right? And I always tell people it's important to believe that you can do something before you ever take that step to do it, right? It's like faith. That's why, do you guys hear anything about people saying believe in faith? How do you guys think faith exists? Do you see what you're doing, or they just believe that they can get it done? They believe they can get it done, right? You have to have that mindset. I believe I can get anything done, right? It's up to me. And that's truly how I feel about a lot of things. I always tell people anything can happen as long as it's up to me. I'll make it happen. Never put your faith into someone else when it comes to your destination. You shouldn't do it at all, right? You shouldn't do it at all. So with that being said, the next next point, which is number 7, you got to have the continue to learn mindset. Who can tell me what I mean when I say continue to learn? Who can tell me what I mean?
New situations, so you adapt.
Just when you know you're done, you're not.
Okay, Sophia. Then we also had Janae said something too as well. Did y'all hear her? Say it again, Janae.
Not every day is going to be the same. There are going to be new challenges. Every day could be different. So always keep an open mind.
Absolutely.
And be creative.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And Noah, Andrew, and Sean, and Wendy. Boom. That's what I like this participation.
It's like when people graduate high school and think they made it. Like, we did it. Like, you haven't done anything yet.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Right. Like, it's still some learning you can do. You don't necessarily have to go to college to learn in more. You can go do your own research. Believe it or not, a lot of the multi-millionaire billionaires didn't even go to school. That's just a fact. I'm just letting y'all know. But Andrew and Wendy, y'all next. Absolutely. That's some truth to that. I'm gonna come back to that point too, Andrew, what you just said. But go ahead, Wendy.
I agree. And also meaning not being too prideful and thinking that you already know it all. That way you won't be able to learn anything else because you think you already know it all.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's 100% true. Not being a know-it-all. But I want to go back to that point that Andrew just made too as well. You guys know when he said you get older when you stop learning, that's actually a true statement because to give y'all a couple of examples. I mean, sometimes you know how technology just pass people by. And it's like, I've been guilty of it in the past, but I'm up to speed now. I've been guilty of it in the past, but it's like, man, you're like, I didn't know you can do that. But everybody else already knew that like 2-3 years ago, right? And you just catching on board. These are things that actually keep you in a state where you're just not growing. You can't catch on to things because you're behind time, right? So imagine if this business stayed the same as it was when I first went through the field, right? We didn't have iPads. We had a piece of paper. Corey know what I'm talking about. We had a piece of paper, right? And we had to track everything. We used to have to create the map. We'll look at a map and create the streets, draw out our thing, right? And that's how we used to work it, tight to the right. Well, we'll get a map and then we create the route and draw it out and then go that way, tight to the right, right? But they got iPads now. They got iPads that see everything, that actually make sure you guys are able to have a correct route. You don't have to worry about all that. That's because technology is always changing and somebody on the back end was up to date. They said, let's not stick to what we know. Let's grow. Right? So you want to always stay forever young. So the next point, determination. How many of you guys know what it actually means to be determined? I think a lot of people have a general idea, but do they really know what that means? And raise your hand, obviously, guys, so you can give a comment. So Jay, you got your hand up. Yep.
Determination is when you have a plan, it did not follow through, but you can make another way.
Absolutely. That's a good way to look at it. All right. So Noah and Andrew.
Tunnel vision. That determination. Yeah, probably what you were looking for. I don't know, but that's definitely like.
That's actually what I was looking for.
Yeah.
Determination.
Like Kodak Black, tunnel vision.
Yeah. Absolutely. 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 All right. So Paris.
Piggybacking off of them.
Yeah.
You don't give up.
You don't give up. things get dire straits sometimes. Like, man, it's tough. You keep pushing through. You keep pushing through. That's just the name of the game. I'm gonna push through because here's the deal: you push through because you deserve it. If you believe you deserve it, you push through. When you know you don't deserve it, you don't push through. You know you don't deserve it. And that's powerful. I want you guys to understand what I just said. Corey with a C, what I mean when I say you know you don't deserve it. Corey,
It's
Corey.
pretty much when you know you ain't give it your all. If you ain't give it
Absolutely.
your all, you don't deserve to, live a lavish life. I tell people, average people don't live great lives because they don't put in the work.
Right. Average people do average work.
There you go.
Right. That's just a fact of the matter. Right. So if you want to actually expand your portfolio and also have the life that you actually want, you got to be doing something that most people are not willing to do or won't do. Right? Because that is value that you bring to the market. Right? If you bring value to the market, you will actually get paid like it. Right? There's people that's making over $170,000 just as a rep, as a sales rep, right? That don't have a college degree in this business. 170K, right? That's what they're doing. So with that being said, do you not think that they have a determination? Do you not think that they're bringing a certain kind of value to the market? Do you guys think that they're saying, well, I don't want to be outside and do sales? Or do you guys think they're able to go do whatever the heck they want to do because they're making 170,000 as a rep? Right? So that's the name of the game. So you got to have determination. Here's a big one. I put a star by this because this one actually matters. Embracing challenges. A lot of people run away from a challenge. Anything that's challenging, they say, oh man, I ain't dealing with that. You know what? We came into a market in West Palm that everybody else was scared to come into. And we started to come into our own. We did the same thing in Atlanta. Atlanta wasn't Atlanta until we got there. Right? And we was the number one market. We was the number one office in Atlanta. Right? And became top 3 in the country. You have to embrace challenge. Where everybody run away from, you run to it. You have to. Because do you guys not think it's a greater reward if you get it done? Yes or no? How do you guys think that they'll feel about you if you were able to embrace the challenge and you got it done? Who can tell me? Andrew, like the Price is Right. Boy, he hit that button. I'm telling you, there you go. There you go. But when you get it done, tell me what happens when you get it done. What happens when you get it done? Somebody tell Andrew what I was saying. Andrew, tell him. Tell me what happens when you get it done, though, Andrew. That's what I'm talking about, Andrew. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for right there. Right? They give you whatever you want. They give you whatever you want when you get it done. Nobody cares about the person that make a lot of excuses. That person's been making excuses for a long time, and they're going to stay in the same situation by making those excuses. Right? Go ahead, Noah, you have your hand up.
That goes back to what you were saying about when it's going well, everybody's happy, but when it's not, you'll see what's going on.
Everybody's happy when it's going well. You guys notice how everybody's laughing when things going well? Everybody laugh. Even when you say something that ain't funny, they laugh when things are going well. Right? But when things are not going well, if you tell a joke, it ain't funny. It ain't funny. Even though it is funny, it ain't funny. Nothing. Everything smells bad. The food tastes terrible. If you go to a restaurant, bad taste buds. You drink a drink, it don't taste good. Everything is bad when things are going bad. So that person becomes different. Right? But the reality of it is nothing changed. You did. Right? So you have to learn sometime that it's okay to deal with what you're dealing with. Embrace that. Embrace that. Take it head on. All right. So the next one, believe that effort leads to mastery. Who can tell me what that means? That's deep. Believe that effort leads to mastery. Go ahead, Kenya.
It means that if you put in the work, you're gonna get the
Absolutely. You put in the work, you're gonna get the income that you want, the outcome that you want from that, and income as well. Right? You're gonna get both of them. Right? And that matters. But it's like when you start this business, guys, a lot of you guys are new, some of you guys not, but some of you guys that do extremely well, y'all know this to be the case, right? You don't have the skill set immediately when you first start in this business, but you always have 100% effort. And if you have 100% effort and you give it 100% effort every single day, eventually what will meet up with your effort? Who can tell me? Who can tell me? All right, so we have Kenya and Paris. Your skill. Everybody else put their hand down because that's the answer. There you go. Right? So skill. Your skill will actually add up and get to the same level that your effort. And when you have both, you are actually becoming unstoppable at that point. You will become unstoppable at that point once you have both. Right? That matters. That point matters, right, guys? So the next point, learn how to seek feedback. Don't be the person that's not getting results and then you don't seek the feedback. Look for the feedback. Or if you're not getting results, or even if you are getting results, seek feedback. Hey, what do you think I can do better? Right? That's a person that said, hey, listen, I'm not satisfied with being good. I want to be great. Big difference. Big difference. Right? Never become satisfied with being good. Be driven by greatness. Be driven by greatness. Right? Like sometimes the things that you've done in the past gonna always last for a lifetime, for years, right? But people gonna know greatness. They don't too much remember good. They remember greatness, right? It's just like Super Bowl, right? Nobody remembers the second team. They always remember the team that won. That's just a fact. I just want to make sure you guys understand that. They always remember the team that won. That's the team that get to do everything. They get all the promotions. They get everything, right? Bonus checks. They remember those people. So make sure that you are that person, right? Seek feedback. And here's a good one. I know my buddy Noah will like this. This is the next point. Desire to want more. Noah says that all the time. When he started this thing, his hashtag, when he do a sale, he say hashtag more. That means he's not satisfied with getting one order. I'm looking for the second one. Before I even finish the first one, I'm looking for the second one now. Before I finish the second one, I'm looking for the third. More, more, more. That should be your mindset. More. Right? What happens when you don't seek more? Who can tell me? All right. Paris this time. There you go.
You get stagnant.
You get stagnant. All right. Noah, Andrew, and then Corey with a K.
You start asking yourself, I can have this, or I can have that.
That's a great point.
You know what I mean? It's not or, it's more.
It's more, not or. I love it. I love it. Andrew. Right. All right, Corey with a K.
Yeah, I was just gonna say stagnant.
Yeah, right. Think about it. How many times, you probably got your check and you probably got like a, $1,800 check, some people a $1,500 check, and then you be like, golly, if I had done more, I would have got a $2,500 check. Or I would have got a $2,000 check. And I guarantee you can look back at yourself and say, I could have done more. If you had one of those weeks, you always look back and say, I could have done more. I know I could have done more. I know I used to do that to myself all the time. I'm like, I could have done more, right? I have a really good week. I remember the day I made the most I made was $1,375 in a day. I knew I could have did more, but I throttled it down. I was like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna beat that. That's kind of how I was. That was just like, I ain't gonna about to do that. I'm good. That's enough to win. I was actually challenged by somebody, and I was like, that's enough to win. That person ain't gonna beat me on that. I could have done more though. Right? So this is a point I'm saying for myself as well. Brittany and Corey will say the same thing. There's been many occasions that we could have done more, and we were just like content. So we telling you guys that it happens to everybody, right? It happens to everybody on this call. Nobody is a person that it haven't happened to, right? But you have to change your mindset. If you can do more, then do more, right? That's the mindset you have to have. So the desire to do more. All right. So the next bullet, identify your mindset. You have to, in order to grow, you have to identify what kind of mindset you have. Do you have a content mindset? Do you have a growth mindset? Or do you have it's all right, it comes and goes mindset? Which one are you? Who are you? Do you even know? Do you even know what you want? It's like sometimes people want to be like, I always ask people that tell me, they want to be promoted. I was like, why? Well, I just want to make a lot of money. That's not good enough. That is never good enough to get promoted. Who can tell me why that's not good enough to get promoted? Kenya, go ahead.
There's no driving.
There's no driving that. Yeah, you got reps making $170,000. Now, obviously, owners make more. Yeah, but guess what? That's not helping you, right? That's not helping you. But Noah and Andrew, y'all next.
That's selfish. I over we. You say I want to make more money. You're not want to enable others. You might as well stay a rep.
Exactly. If you're not looking to help others, then stay a rep. Either you're going to be a rep here, or you're going to be a rep, doing Terminates, but you'll be a rep, right? If you don't want to help others. But go ahead, Andrew. Absolutely. It's all. It won't grow. It won't grow. You're right, Andrew. If you're only about growing your bank account, it won't grow. You have to care about people. You have to want to see people win. Because guess what? If people win, you win by default. And nobody has, not a lot of people have figured that out. Anytime I coach people, I say, well, how do you care about people? It's hard for them to say, oh yeah, I care about people, but then you see them do things that show that they don't care about people. Right? In order to get where you want to get to in life, you have to care about people. You have to. You have to. Like, I always tell people, I know about them before they know about themselves, what they're capable of. I study them. I know what you're good at and I know what you're not good at. And I'm going to tell you straight up because I care about you. And Corey and Brittany feels the same way, right? Sometimes it's hard to hear the information that we give you, but we wouldn't give it to you if it don't benefit your growth, right? So if you look at it as, oh man, you giving me corrective criticism, then you're already at the wrong place. You need to go do something different. You should heed the warnings and the criticism that we're giving you because it's helpful. It's going to help you get to the next level, not just to the money, but in life. Think long term. The money is short term thinking. Long term thinking is life. What kind of life you want? That's what it comes down to. All right. So the next thing, you have to learn how to value your effort. Take pride in your effort. Sometimes if you look at the effort that you give out, you should be disgusted. I've been disgusted at my effort sometimes. I'm like, man, what the heck? Like sometimes I just know I didn't do anything. I'm like the whole day went by, I didn't do nothing. I could be totally honest with you guys. I'm at a position in my life, now, I still want to do some things. And sometimes I just like, what the heck, man? I'm glad I woke up. And that's about all I say. Right? That's not good though. Sometimes, y'all. I'll be happy that I woke up doing absolutely nothing with the day. Right? So you want to do something productive. Value your effort. What are you doing when you wake up? You exercising? Are you eating healthy? Or, I mean, are you, doing something for somebody? I mean, what is it? Are you valuing the effort? Or are you just sleeping in? Just sleeping till it's time for you to go to work. Well, I'm gonna sleep in, to it's time for me to go to work. Right? It really comes back and bite you, because at the end of the day, when you don't get the results that you want, you look back and you can tell yourself, that's on me. I guarantee I could have did something better with my time. Right? So you want to make sure that you value the effort. So I don't want to spend too much time on that. But one that I start as well, which is the next point, is continuous to improve. If I'm good, I want to be great. Right? Let's just say I'm good at sales. I want to become elite at sales. How do I get elite? I study my material. How do I become the best version of myself? Then guess what? I study my pitch. People always ask all the time, when it comes down to your pitch, how is it that you're so confident in what you're saying to customers? Because I study it. I know it through and through. I already know what you're going to say back to me because I know my pitch. I see Corey with a C shaking his head. Like, I set you up to say exactly what I want you to say because I know my pitch. That's how well I know my pitch. Right? I know exactly what you're going to say to me, so I already know how I'm going to rebuttal you. So people ask me all the time, how you come back with your rebuttal so fast? Because I already know what you're going to say. This is what I do. I'm a professional. When you're a professional, you know exactly what you're going to say and what you're going to do at all times. There's never a moment when you forget what you're supposed to do. And if you do, that's because you didn't get enough sleep. That's been me before too. Get your sleep at night. That's a side note. All right. So make sure that you continue to improve. Now, here's a big one. I want to see, can anybody answer this question? Disrupt yourself. What does that mean? All right. Kenyon, you came up first. Dan. Huh? Get out your own way. That's what she said. All right. Paris and Sean, ignore.
Get out your comfort zone.
Get out your comfort zone. That's it.
Do what you know will make you better, even if it's uncomfortable.
That's what I was looking for. Now, if you guys want to add something to it, y'all go ahead. Y'all got your hand. Sean, you got your hand up.